Good morning, beautiful people. And I am so excited to welcome back, as you can see, our very, very special guest, Larissa from Eating Gilmore. Now, if you don't know Larissa, you should. So you are behind. But just in case you don't, Larissa, can you explain a little bit about your Instagram and your story and why we have so many baking goods in front of us?
Definitely. Hi, everyone. My name is Larissa, and I'm the person behind the account Eating Gilmore. It is a project where I am recreating a dish, a food, a drink inspired by every single episode of Gilmore Girls.
That is so exciting. And you just hit, actually, you're at like 52 or something already.
I know, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
That's awesome. So what I was going to say is you've hit over 50,000 Instagram foodie lovers and Gilmore Girls lovers, which is very, very exciting. Congratulations on that. I'm really stoked for you about that.
Thank you so much. And thank you for helping me celebrate. You were the first person I thought of that I wanted to celebrate with.
Oh yeah, definitely. I will party anytime, honestly. So today we are kicking it back, which I have questions about that for you, because I'm sure Gilmore Girls is so much nostalgia for us, but I feel like this dish is probably very nostalgic for you. So can you describe to us what we are making today?
Yes, so we are recreating the very first dish that I made for Eating Gilmore. It is Sookie's world famous peach sauce that she makes at the Independence Inn, to which Lorelai, when she tastes it, says, "I want to take a bath in that sauce."
True, same. Oh, so fun. So we have, I think, the ingredients all out in front of us. Where should we start?
Definitely. Well, let's kick it off right away with peaches, kind of essential to the dish. So I think that what's really good about this and what we're doing, we're showing you kind of that you can have different varieties of peaches. So I am using fresh, but Joy, you have canned peaches, correct?
Yes, that is what I found. So I have no reason we're giving different options, but
I think it's great. I'm very much a believer of using what you have. I try to offer varieties of recipes for, whatever's in season, whatever available. Both times that I've made this sauce, it has not been summer, so peaches have been really hard to find.
Did you feel pretty nostalgic kind of getting ready for today? How does that feel hitting, because you're in season 6 right now, correct?
Yeah, I guess when this comes out, I'll be a little bit more, but I just did yesterday, when the time that we're filming this, did the halfway point for season 6. So wild.
I think last time we chatted, we did the very, very delicious Pop-Tarts, pumpkin Pop-Tarts, which you haven't watched. If you haven't watched that, go watch that. And also, I want to tell you that my mom watched that and she loved it so much. That was her, the one thing she asked for her birthday was, "Hey, can you make me those Pop-Tarts?"
So cute. I love that so much. So I have mine. I went ahead, if you are using fresh peaches, if you're doing this more in the summertime, I have about 7 whole peaches that I sliced. I took out the pits. You can peel them or unpeel them, whatever you prefer. The first time I did it, I peeled. This time I was like, no, we're going easy. So I left the skin on. So you boil water, reduce the heat, let them simmer in the hot water for about 20 minutes, let them cool, and then I just did a rough chop.
Nice.
If you've got your blender ready to go.
Should I take out should I drain the juice that they're in?
I think you could leave it in because we're making a sauce. And you did say you needed a little bit extra liquid because you're at a higher altitude. So yeah. I think you are totally fine to leave the liquid in.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm higher altitude and gluten-free. So talk about options we're giving you. We're definitely giving you that.
Trip that I was originally referencing, this dish, or when I first made this dish, it was about a year out from my very first trip back in November of 2019. And then I went again just recently of last November, so Thanksgiving 2022.
Oh, that's so pretty. So in the late November side of things, were any of the markets, the winter markets, set up yet?
Yes, and that's why I go in that time of year, because I just love all the Christmas markets and everything. Yeah, this time we went to Winter Wonderland as well, which is like a massive carnival, like a Christmas themed carnival. Like they have rides and games, and so it's like they take over Hyde Park and they turn into like a massive carnival.
I love that. What would you say is your most like bougie dish that you've made?
Well, in terms of price, probably the one I just shared yesterday, the passion fruit sorbet. They were $7 a fruit.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was, I'm like, do I really want to do this? And I'm like, so that's episode so iconic because it was Friday Nights Are Right for Fighting. So it's when they have the big, amazing fight. And that's what they eat during that. And I'm like, okay, I have to do this. It's fine. I'll just, but it tasted worth it. So that would probably, I guess, bougie actually, but like bougie looking at it. Sookie's amaretto mousse cake.
Ooh, yes. That one's so
that was there's three kind of main components to it. So there's like a chocolate cake and then a mousse that goes on top of it, and then a homemade whipped cream, and all three have amaretto in them.
Oh, I bet that just tasted amazing though.
So good.
I love it. Okay, so we might go off camera and just this real quick.
It'll be the magic of Hollywood, whatever they call it.
So I might just really quick before I blend this, what is the consistency that I'm looking for so I know when to stop?
Yeah, just so like kind of that what we talked about, like a chutney or like a jam, just kind of like well blended. Like it doesn't have to be like, it can still be a little chunky if you want, or if you want just go like full smooth, whatever consistency you prefer.
Perfect. Okay, we'll be back. With movie magic, we have our peaches pureed or something, and then we have this. So Larissa, tell us what this guy is for.
Yeah, so we are going to actually heat up our sauce to really let that sugar and the syrup and the lime juice, or not lemon juice, we're going to kind of let that all marinate together to really make sure that our sauce is, good and flavorful.
Ooh, I love it.
So what I did when I first made this, obviously this makes quite a lot. So I made this originally over scones because I was celebrating, the 1 year from my first trip to London, like we talked about. This time we're going to do it like Sookie intended, over waffles. But obviously you're probably going to have some left over. So if you pop your sauce into the freezer for a couple hours, let it get kind of like a slushy consistency. You can mix it with about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of tequila, a little splash of triple sec, some more lemon juice, and you've got yourself a good frozen peach margarita.
That sounds like a great day. That's
right? Okay, so we are going to add in about 1/2 cup of sugar, but I think you're going a little less since you use the canned peaches. And then we're going to use about 1/4 cup of syrup. So this is essential if you are doing the Gilmore Girls version of the peach sauce, because this is what Sookie finally perfects in the episode. She'd been using too much and it was strangling the fruit. So we're using about 1/4 cup.
Perfect.
Probably one of my favorite moments of her for the physical comedy is that episode where Trix comes to the end and she's got this, it cuts and she's like,
so good. And it's so good too because Trix is very like demure and like put together, and then meanwhile she's like doing like, yeah, she's really good. I remember when we first saw her, like one of the first movies she got after Gilmore Girls, I was even kind of nervous because I was like, okay, I only know her in this role, like how is she going to translate? And then she was like, obviously, was it Bridesmaids? I
think that was like her first like big role. It was so weird because it's such a departure from Sookie, like total opposite.
Yeah, but she did great. I feel like she's just like really good at the physical comedy, like you said, and then really good like as an actress to morph into those different roles.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add in is about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I think we're both using fresh for this, right?
I have my eggs in there too, so I'm gonna be careful.
But if you just have the bottled stuff, that is perfectly okay. Like I said, I'm always like, use what you have. Okay, and then the last thing we're gonna add is if you use this recipe from when I first made it, it's actually a little bit of a departure, or a little, I guess, in addition to, I'm adding about 1/4 cup of water just to kind of thin the sauce out because it's a pretty thick consistency. And I was like, you know what, I want to make it a little more saucy. So we're just gonna add a little bit of water just to thin that out a bit.
Perfect.
This is an optional ingredient. I know some people don't really love cinnamon. I do. So it's about 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we can go ahead and dump that in right now as well.
Okay.
And we're just going to kind of stir this up. And we're actually about to heat this over medium low heat for about 5 minutes. It's not going to probably reach a full boil, but once you kind of see it starting to percolate a little bit, we'll set a timer for about 5 minutes. Our sauce will be ready to go, and we can move on to waffles.
Ooh, yay. I feel like we always reach the end of like a recipe and I'm like, oh, I didn't know we were done yet.
All right, so we'll be right back. All right, so our 5 minutes is up. Joy, do you want to grab a spoon and do a little taste test?
I'm ready.
Okay, perfect.
Ooh, I really like it. Oh, I was back here. I really like it.
Yeah, the cinnamon just kind of takes you back to fall. Like ideally, you'd probably make this in the summer with the peaches being more in season, but
I feel like you were talking about earlier, putting that whatever is left over and making like a margarita out of that. I feel like that sounds like really, really delightful.
Yep.
Should I turn it off now that the 5 minutes?
Yes, go ahead and turn it off the heat for sure. Okay. And then I actually switched burners just so it could start cooling down.
Okay, well that cools. We have our mixers ready because we're doing fancy egg thins.
Yeah, so we're gonna shift to the waffles now because Sookie intends for the sauce to go over waffles the next morning. We never see the waffles, but that's what she wants to put the sauce over. We have 2 eggs here, and we're gonna separate them out, whites and yolks. We will use both parts. We've got to be economical with our eggs in this economy these days. So we will be using the full egg, but I like whipping my egg whites to form kind of that soft peak because it just really makes your waffles super nice and fluffy. So definitely I am covering a year in the life. So once I finish 7, I will be doing a year in the life. I've got some really fun dishes planned for that. And then there's a couple of different ideas on the table, but I'm being kind of secretive on that right now.
Oh, good, do it. That's so exciting. Okay, I have my whites in here. Are we just?
I need to go ahead and dump mine in. Yep. So we're just going to start out kind of probably on like a 4 speed, just to kind of let it go, and then you can go higher. And then we're just going to whisk these up until soft peaks form. So we're kind of looking for almost like a cloud-like consistency. And the reason that we whisked up our egg whites, perfect. We basically just added a ton of air to the egg whites. So at the very end, we're going to gently fold it into our batter, and that's going to help create a really, really fluffy consistency for our waffles when we cook them.
Perfect. So like when we cook them, that puff that happens is largely due to this, correct?
Yes, exactly. And just as an FYI, if you don't have one of those fancy stand mixers with the whisk attachment, you can absolutely use a hand mixer. If you don't even have that, you could use a whisk. It might take you a little while, but Sookie has definitely hand whisked egg whites before on the show. So if you really want to channel your inner Sookie, you can go for it.
Good point. I actually don't know. I was looking when I did, I recently did a video about like how to get the Gilmore Girls vibe in your house. And I was looking through all their houses, like in a way that was like new to me. And I looked at their kitchen and I loved their kitchen, but I can't actually remember seeing like a hand mixer like that, but maybe I missed it. Cause I was looking for like the windows and like chair rails and things like that.
Yeah, I think I know she's making meringue, which uses a lot of egg whites. And she hand whisks it, which is just, that's wild to me because that would take literally forever.
I was like, should I put this to the side for right now and then use the full? Okay.
Yes, so we're gonna go ahead, yeah, move your egg whites out of the way. We won't need those until the end.
Okay.
So we've got our medium-sized mixing bowls to make our waffle batter. So we are gonna go ahead and start with 2 1/4 cups of flour.
Okay, 2 1/4.
Yes, so then we're gonna do 1 1/2 tablespoons of baking powder.
Tablespoons.
Yeah, so lots of baking powder. I love a fluffy waffle, so this is gonna really add even more rise to your waffle.
If you were to audition for the show, which character do you think you would have auditioned for?
Probably Sookie. I feel like she's the one that I'm most similar, not just the cooking wise element of it, but personality wise, I feel like I'm not quick-witted enough to be Lorelai or Rory. But I do identify with Sookie and like her loyalty and how like friendly she is. And I took like a what Gilmore Girl are you Enneagram quiz, and Sookie and I are both 2, so I think that kind of aligns as well.
Oh, nice. Lorelai is a 7. I'm a 3, but we're both ENFPs.
Oh, perfect. I'm an INFJ, so I don't know what any of the Gilmore Myers-Briggs are, but I definitely would want to find one that's mine.
I did a video on that, but the only one I remember is Lorelai, because I was like, we're the same, and then I was afraid that I was like biasing myself towards that, so I like double checked her so many times. I was like,
I love that.
okay, I have these 2. Is there anything else I should be adding to this guy?
Yes, so after the baking powder, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar.
And then how much salt should I add?
It's going to be 1 1/2 teaspoons. Okay, and then we're going to mix all of our dry ingredients so that it's all fully incorporated. So yeah, when I did the waffles for that episode, I actually made tie-dye waffles, inspired by the bet earlier in the episode when she gets the bulbs for Lorelai and she's like, you're gonna have color coming out of your yin yang.
That's so good. I love that set. It's just like, it really feels, because have you gotten to visit the WB set yet?
I have not. That's like the last thing on like my Gilmore Girls bucket list.
We should plan, because I know they did it last year. I didn't get to go last year, but they do a like lunch dinner at Lorelai's over the holidays. So I'm hoping that they can do it again this year. I would love to go to that. That would be
and that will be, I think I should be wrapping up season 7 around the end of the year. I think in maybe like October and November. So that could be a fun thing to do like after finishing the project.
Oh, that's so crazy. And then do you rewatch A Year in the Life when you rewatch the show?
Sometimes, not every time. I have rewatched it quite a few times. It gets easier with rewatching it, like giving yourself some distance. If you've only watched it the one time, give yourself some distance from it. I think it's a little bit easier to rewatch. But there's definitely parts I skip over. I don't watch the musical scenes because that was rough.
Either. And I'm like, where did this come from? This wasn't in the show like ever. Like I don't remember. Well, there's the one where like the kids are throwing that, but Lorelai and Sookie are like, I hate this.
Yeah, they're like making fun of it.
Is there any plot point from the show that either is like your favorite, or is there a plot point that you wish you could rewrite?
Ooh, so from like the whole show or specifically A Year in the Life?
Let's say the whole show.
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know, because I feel like even though there's so many parts of Rory's storyline that I don't like, I do feel like almost everything she does or goes through is important to her growth as a character, even though it kind of feels like all of that sort of goes away by the time we get to A Year in the Life, all the progress that she makes. So I feel like all of that is pretty intentional. I mean, even like her and Dean like having an affair, I think that that was almost necessary in a way, just for her to kind of, I don't know, grow a little bit in terms of how she treats people in relationships. Like, I don't think Lindsay deserved that at all. Like, I always feel bad for Lindsay. But I do think that hopefully, I like to hope that maybe Rory learned some lessons from that.
Interesting. So probably today when we're filming today, I have a video that will be coming out and it's titled something like How to Fix Rory Gilmore or something. And it is very similar to that. There's one plot point, just so that you go watch the video. There's one plot point that I think would change her character in like a very good way. And it's similar to what you're saying. So
Yeah.
because that would be probably mine too. The only other one that I don't love is, I don't love that. Yes, I think we wanted to see a wedding, but I think we would have accepted that we didn't see it if Luke and Lorelai had felt more sturdy in the reboot. I didn't like that we like skipped so many years, and it still felt like they were very like, will they, won't they? I'm like, no, we just want the will they. Like,
right, exactly. No, I agree with that. I think, and this is kind of honestly a small plot, but like when Marty comes back in season 7 and he like doesn't tell his girlfriend that he used to like be in love with Rory, it's so cringy. I don't feel like it was necessary. And yeah, I think it's such a small plot, but I think it would be one that I could definitely go without.
no, agreed. I think that Lorelai has Michelle as like a guy friend, and we could see like her have a guy friend in a relationship. And I really wish that Marty hadn't liked Rory. I wish that we had just seen Rory have a guy friend.
Yes.
Like, not everybody has to love Rory.
Yeah, or honestly, just get to see Rory treat any of her friends well. Like, I don't think she's a good friend to, definitely not Lane, not even really Paris a lot of the time. Oh, that's the storyline. I would rewrite Lane's storyline.
Yes. Sorry, John.
I would have her like become a rock star, move to California, be with Dave, be famous, the end. Like, that's what I would do for Lane.
I wish there was a way to like know for sure. I feel like he just got his own show, because I didn't watch it, but unfortunately, but maybe I will. But what is the show that he went to? Didn't he get a show and then that's why he left?
Yeah, the OC. I never watched it, mostly out of spite because it took Dave Rogowski. But yeah, Adam Brody was on the OC.
Oh, okay, the OC, that's what it is. Yeah, 100%, because he is literally based, like, Lane is based off of a real life friend, and then Dave is based upon her, like, literally his name is the real life husband.
Yes.
No, they are endgame. Stop.
I know. Alrighty, so back to waffles really quickly. I think it's time to start adding in our wet ingredients.
Okay.
So we're gonna do 2 cups of milk, and we're gonna kind of slowly add this in. So don't go all the way in, just kind of slowly add it, stir it, so that you're not left with like a big sloshy mess.
Yeah, agreed. The only other one is, I don't know, there was like a lot of things that I wish we got to see more of. Like Michelle with the spa, like I wish we'd gotten to see that. I didn't love in A Year in the Life, like how that played out. I don't know.
No, I completely agree. I did love that Michelle kind of got to, like, this is the one thing, like, obviously I wish Sookie was in A Year in the Life more, but I do think it allowed Michelle to have more of a storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish we got to see even more of his storyline and like with his partner. And I mean, honestly, like I feel like in the original run too, I just wish we got more Michelle like growth. Like I feel like he only had a couple episodes where we really got to see like the nice side of Michelle, like with the RV or whatever. I think that was like one of his best episodes.
100%. That one's really funny. I think in an interview he has said that that was his favorite episode, about like the storyline of him going to LA and then Nick Lachey and all of that.
Yeah, because like, you know, you kind of get to see his, you know, sweet side a little bit, and like he does feel bad and Lorelai gets all mad at him, but I think they have a nice moment at the end.
Oh yeah. Use a spoon. I feel like my spatula's not working for me. But
Yeah, I know. I might need to switch over to like a whiskers.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. The other thing as well is just from like a hospitality perspective of things, it would feel a little bit odd to stay at a place and then have to go to an entirely other location in I don't know where to go to their spa.
Yeah, I know. Cause like, so are we supposed to believe that, where's my book? Let me start over so you can hear me. Are we meant to believe that when she buys the like nursing home or whatever it is, that they're turning that into a spa?
Yeah, I think so. Which was very, I just wish that we had seen like some other building on the land, or maybe like the Dragonfly had more land than we knew, because they have horses somewhere there. So
Yeah,
it's like,
they have, yeah, they make like a whole like stables, like, and that's the
Yeah.
other thing too. We never see the horses other than that episode where the one like goes into the kitchen
yeah.
or whatever part of the end. We never see the horses again. So
And that's a pretty cool like aspect of it, that like I know that Michelle specifically wanted a spa, but that, I mean, again, he's not really a horse guy, but that is something that's more than just, because he's supposed to be basically what Lorelai was at the Independence Inn. So he has like the most responsibility at that place according to like hierarchy, minus the owner, but I don't know. That was a little interesting to me.
yeah, and I think too, I don't know. I also get, Michelle wanting more than just, he's been, because he was also at the Independence Inn, so he's been with Lorelai in her hotels for a while. So I do get him wanting more. Sookie's the one that I don't get wanting more. I get that Melissa would only be able to be in like one scene, which I do wish was the wedding scene. It just felt really weird to have her there so close to the wedding, but not actually be at the wedding.
Yeah. Or like make the wedding cake, as far as we're aware. Like she makes an entire wedding cake for a whole nother wedding that like, what's his name? Clyde? Is that what his name is?
No, she makes cakes technically for the wedding, because like Lorelai comes in and she has like the whole kitchen with all the cakes. But it's so weird because like her favorite one, and the one they like really talk about, is Lorelai's milestone cake. So it has all these like moments from like honestly their friendship and like opening the inn together. But it's just kind of weird that would be for a wedding cake.
Right. Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. I forgot about that scene. And also, especially when she's pregnant and she's like refusing to leave, and like there with the, like in the original series, like with the spatulas and having people bring her stuff, like I don't see her just being okay with even a celebrity chef taking over, and then her and Jackson.
Right. Exactly. And like I just did, I think by the time the video comes out, the episode will come out. I did an episode with Talking Fast podcast, where we talk about a deep fried Korean Thanksgiving, and how like upset Sookie was to leave the Independence Inn just for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. And how many like people they had to go through, and yeah, 100%, totally agree.
All right, so our batter, how's yours doing? Is it all mixed up?
I think that mixed pretty good.
Okay, yeah, so it should be pretty thick. Lumps are good, so if you still got a few little like floury lumps, that is perfectly okay. So we have a couple more wet ingredients to add in. So we will need to grab our egg yolks from earlier.
Yes.
We're gonna just dump those in. And then do you have vanilla out?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we are gonna do a teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay, that is mixed in.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna move my whisk over because we are gonna need to go back to the spatula for this.
Okay.
We are going to fold in our egg whites, but we have to be pretty careful with this. Don't panic, because it does take quite a lot to do this. We do want to fold these in very gently so we're not knocking all of the air that we spent so much time mixing into.
Okay, perfect.
So just basically once it's like fully incorporated, stop.
That was my question. Should I do a little bit at a time too? Or should I do all of it?
You can do all of it. That way you're not like if you mix the first part too much in, then you're going to be like, oh no, I mixed that part too much.
Okay, perfect.
Get it all in there and then just do like a little folding in job.
Because folding is supposed to also incorporate air too, if I'm remembering that right.
Yes. But if you mix it too much, then you're gonna, all of that air will be gone. So we definitely just want a little mix just so that it's fully combined, and then we should be good.
Okay, perfect.
And if you wanted to, we could add cinnamon to this as well. Probably should have done that before the egg whites, but if you are getting all the ingredients to make these at home, if you wanted to kind of match the cinnamon flavor that we did with the peach sauce, I think that would be a nice little touch to add as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I feel like the by hand is probably the way to go on this. I feel like if we were to put it back in the machine, it would be too much.
Yes, definitely do this with a spatula just so that you can be very gentle with it. Okay, I think I'm good.
You got good. Should I add just a little bit, like a sprinkle of cinnamon maybe?
Yeah, we can do that. I'll just add a little bit of a dusting. So probably if you want to measure it out, you could do about a half a teaspoon to a full teaspoon, but I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it.
Yeah. And our waffles are done. Look how cute they are.
I know, and you did the Mickey ones right. Oh my gosh, those are so cute.
Waffle is like very like TV movie waffle. That looks like a great waffle.
Thank
Some of my Mickeys don't
nice
have
and fluffy.
Yeah. Some of my Mickeys don't have ears, so I hit them.
You know what? I feel like they need to come out with like a Gilmore Girls waffle iron.
Oh my gosh, yes. Even just one of those little guys, those little nugget ones that make like a little one.
Yeah, like it could be like the Luke's logo, or honestly just like a coffee cup.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of butter to my waffles.
I never did this for the last couple of years, and it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
I like the flavor of it. Okay.
And then you have your peach sauce next to you.
Yes, I need a ladle.
I know, I just have my little like spatula, but I might get like a full spoon, or I have a spoon right here. I'll use that.
That works. My waffle maker like hissing in the background.
So we're just gonna scoop on the peach sauce as much as you like.
Yum. I'm so excited. I don't think I've ever made a sauce for like a waffle. This looks awesome.
I know I usually just do, like basic syrup, but this is gonna be so good. And since there's syrup in the sauce, you kind of get that flavor there,
Yeah. Oh, this looks so good.
All right, I think I don't want to make it too soggy.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I was just like, add the sauce. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Let's try this.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. This is your first trying this too, because you made it on scones last time.
Yeah, I haven't done it with waffles yet, so I'm really excited.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. I like the cinnamon in the waffles. I feel like it adds.
I think it just goes so well with the cinnamon and the sauce that they really complement each other.
Ooh, I really like that. Okay.
And you have to be careful not to eat this whole thing on camera. Because I definitely could.
Oh, 100%. Thank you so much for chilling and making this with me. I feel so honored to be doing this with you a second time. I know you're chewing.
Well, thank you for having me and letting me celebrate hitting 50,000 on Instagram. Like, this is so much fun.
So fun. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We're gonna go live. You can't watch it live if you're watching this later, but I will put Larissa's Instagram to follow her. Obviously, if you're here, you should be following me. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon, Larissa.
All right, sounds good, Joy. Bye.